A very good evening everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you to another episode of Boost Your Vocabulary. This is episode number 20 and I welcome you to the YouTube channel of PRATHAM Test Prep. How are you all doing? How is everybody? And I hope that you've had like a nicer weekend, right? A lot of anticipation for Diwali and everything, so I'm hoping that there's some excitement in the air as we move ahead and learn 5 more words for the day. Right? Okay, perfect. So we're going to start with the first word, and today, of course, we're going to be doing words that are related to your exam. So, yes, now Diwali break. Oh, you have a Diwali break on here. Nice. Congratulations. I think that feels nice, right? Although I think the students who have had so many छुट्टीज over this COVID period, आप लोगों के लिए स्कूल जाना वो is much nicer, I think, है ना? I mean, that's how I feel it should be, but पता नहीं, हो सकता है. Okay. Alright, so we'll start with the first word. So सबसे पहला word is recalcitrant. How to do recalcitrant is in mnemonic aid. You might want to, hello Samriddhi, how are you? Who told you? Anya, I'm guessing कि ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जिन लोगों को स्कूल 2 साल से जाने को नहीं मिला उनको अच्छा लग रहा होगा शायद स्कूल जाना. But maybe, I don't know, I can be wrong, of course, I'm clearly wrong. Okay, so we'll start with recalcitrant, okay. Mnemonic aid में अगर आप ध्यान दो तो it says reluctant to sit. Reluctant का meaning होता है hesitant. Reluctant का मतलब होता है कि किसी चीज़ को मजबूरी में करना, मन नहीं है but मजबूरी में करना पड़ रहा है. So that's reluctant. So if somebody is reluctant to sit, मतलब he does not want to sit, he is not, उसको करने का मन ही नहीं होता, वो आप उसको बोलते रहो कि बैठो 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 and he wouldn't sit. So that kind of person is a recalcitrant person. Hi Vansh, hello Naman. How's life going? Quite nice actually. It's just ये जो ये autumn वाला change of season होता है, I think everybody's fallen sick during this period and I was no exception to that fact. So I fell sick over the weekend and kind of starting to feel better. So that is that. Alright, so I'm hoping everybody else is like keeping safe and everything. Okay, so a person who's recalcitrant, we're talking about how a person जिसको आप बोलते रहो बैठो 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 वो बैठेगा नहीं, and then finally शायद hesitantly या मजबूरी में बैठ जाए, but that person will not listen to you. So recalcitrant is basically a person जो ज़्यादा बात नहीं सुनता अच्छे से. So I'm going to first make you watch a video. So let's watch this video and then we will move forward and discuss this further. Here you go.
Alright. Remember what we talked about. When we're in a public place, there are certain rules. It's not what we talked about! Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Frank?
Hi. How you doing?
Oh my goodness, they've all gotten so big. Which one is which again?
Oh, well, that's Frank Jr. pulling the tampons out of the lady's purse. And that's Chandler climbing on Chandler. And that's Leslie throwing bagels at him.
Willing to adopt triplets? No.
Okay, so if you see these kids, if you watched Friends, you'd know the scene anyway from the very starting. But for all of those who haven't watched Friends, these kids are very naughty. Wouldn't sit, wouldn't listen to their parents. So that's basically recalcitrant, okay? Recalcitrant is basically then a person who wouldn't listen to people, is disobedient. Other way of saying it is disorderly or defiant or rebellious. Rebellious is also an easy word to remember. Rebellious is somebody जो सुनता नहीं है बात, या फिर ऐसा person जो would not be traditional in the way that you think of them to be. वो नहीं चाहेगा कि जो आप बोल रहे हो वो सुने, which is something that everybody is at this point. So maybe recalcitrant can be thought of as somebody who's disobedient, disorderly. Also another word that you might know of already is somebody who's unruly. मतलब जिस पे आप easily रूल नहीं कर सकते या जो आपकी बात easily नहीं सुनता. So that is recalcitrant. So if you think you are a person who does not listen to their parents easily, so you can say that you're recalcitrant. Okay, so You're obsessed with Friends. Good. I am too. There was a time that I only used to watch that, but now I kind of taken a break from it, thankfully. As people around me are slightly happy about it now. Okay, so sentences. The class was full of recalcitrant teenagers. That means those classes, that class was full of teenagers who were defiant, who wouldn't listen to you easily, were rebellious, disobedient, etc., etc. Okay, so that is basically what recalcitrant is. I want you to think about what the part of speech for this word is. See, if you look at it again, if you've talked about it with me earlier, the identifiers being ANT, one of the ways that you can look at it and see what is the part of speech. And other than that, IVE, ENT, able bhi aa raha hai word mein, OUS bhi aa raha hai. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to guess the part of speech for this word. Also, abhi bhi agar nahi recognize kar pa rahe ho, so you realize that teenagers is a noun, and describing teenagers would then be what part of speech? So you think about this. Section 7, apart from these sessions, what do we need to do for vocabulary? Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Yes, so this is an adjective. Very good, Saksham. It's an adjective because you have so many identifiers that talk about it being an adjective, because it's describing a noun. All right, it has IVE, ENT, ANT, all of these things telling us that this is an adjective. Now coming to Saksham's question first, and then we will move forward. Saksham's question basically says that what do we need to do apart from vocabulary? I think what you need to do for vocabulary other than your sessions is to kind of look at your vocab booster religiously. You have a lot of words in your knowledge primer as well, which you can have a look at, and just keep going through that. If you've already attended some classes with me earlier, you have recordings for those as well. So maybe just kind of go through the recordings one more time. Try making notes, as many notes as possible. Also, these sessions you will realize are not just something that are happening for the first time on the channel. So there are a lot of these sessions that have already been conducted for you, maybe a year ago, maybe some months ago. So maybe go and have a look at those as well. So don't just rely on the lives, also rely on everything that has happened on the channel previously as well. I think that should really be helpful. Okay, alright, so that was the first word. Let's head to the second word for the day, which is repose. Now for repose, I want you to think about the mnemonic aid, which is pose. Now अगर आप pose करते हो किसी कैमरा के लिए या किसी की photograph के लिए, how do you pose? You don't pose like you don't keep moving around. What do? You remain still, right? आप अपनी जगह पे खड़े रहते हो. You remain quiet, absolutely still, absolutely at a state where you're not moving at all, or there shouldn't be any chaos other if you want a good picture, right? Basically that. So for repose, what I need you to think about is pose से उसे याद रखो, and pose के लिए जैसे आप still रहते हो वैसे ही repose is basically stillness or a state of rest या फिर tranquility. हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं ना सन्नाटा. So basically repose can be thought of as sannata in that sense, in a very quiet and peaceful situation. Okay, so another word is quietude. I'm sorry, not quietude. या फिर जैसे हमने बोला सन्नाटा. ठीक है, so वैसे भी हम इस वर्ड को याद रख सकते हैं. So your face looks beautiful in repose. Now here it obviously does not mean sannata. It means that your face looks beautiful when it is serene, when it is still in a state of rest, and when there's no chaos on your face, no anxiety, no stress on your face. So you realize that repose can actually have multiple meanings. It can have your demeanor can be reposed. That means your demeanor can be in a state of rest. The situation can be in a repose. That means अगर कोई ज़्यादा chit chat नहीं हो रही है, chaos नहीं हो रहा है, that can also be repose, right? So it has multiple connotations. Okay. Now part of speech, what do you think is the part of speech for this word? Again, I want you to think about the identifiers. There are words like NESS. There is a determiner in the meaning. There is ITY at the end, TUED at the end. And also your face looks beautiful in something. So a lot of identifiers. What do you think is the part of speech for this word? क्योंकि ये किसी चीज़ को describe नहीं कर रहा है, ये खुद ही एक चीज़ है. This is a thing in itself, right? क्योंकि something at the end आ रहा है, right? So then clearly this becomes a noun. Okay. Right, so it is a noun because NESS, A in the starting of the meaning, ITY, TUED, those are your identifiers ki ye repose is actually a noun. Okay, and also something in the meaning agar hum usse replace kar sakte hain, so that means this becomes a noun. Okay, alright, let's head to the next word. Let's look at what the next word is. The word is Welter. Now for Welter, what I want you to think about is mnemonic aid में well, obviously well दिख रहा है आपको, ठीक है? So that is one of the things that you will be looking at for this word. Well और उसके अलावा clutter. Clutter मतलब सब कुछ बिखरा हुआ होना या फिर सब कुछ mixed होना, बहुत chaos में होना, right? So if you look around your room at this point, maybe अभी आप लोगों ने दिवाली की सफाई करी है and then there's probably no clutter in your room. But if your room is always untidy and there are a lot of things there, so we call that clutter. Similarly, if you look at that picture on your screen, you see there's so many things there in that picture, what we can call a clutter. So if you think about it, any place that is like a well full of clutter is welter. So you can call that a welter. It's a well full of clutter, मतलब बहुत सारी चीज़ों का कुआं. Okay, so welter को वैसे याद रख सकते हैं. Meaning wise, it says a confused mess. Right, a large number of things in a disorderly and unorganized fashion. Again, what it means is that there are a lot of things in it. There is no order in it, right? It's absolutely messed up. It's completely disorderly. It's in sixes and sevens. That means it's completely confused situation में, chaotic situation में, and that's what Welter is. So an idiom that we've done earlier is at 6s and 7. Which means बहुत ही ज़्यादा confused and disorderly situation में. That's Welter. So again, I want you to think about the part of speech as we're at it. So sentence says there's a welter of information floating on the internet, which means that like a huge mess of information, abundance में information, but there is really no order as such. It's disorderly, it's unorganized, right? It's just out there and everywhere. That is what Welter is. So I want to think about the part of speech again. Meaning में A आ रहा है सबसे पहली बात, a large number of things again, and there is something of information, so there's something on the internet. Welter then becomes a noun. It is a noun क्योंकि हम अभी भी chaotic situation की बात कर रहे हैं, and that's the reason why it's a noun. That was the third word. Let's head to the fourth word for the day, which is winsome. Winsome is also an interesting and easy word to remember क्योंकि mnemonic aid में it says winsome चीज़ें, winsome hearts. That means winsome hearts because something is winsome. कैसी चीज़ें hearts win करती हैं? Some ऐसे attractive चीज़ें hearts win करती हैं. मैंने ऐसे hearts win करती हैं, I mean people को attract करती हैं, लोगों को attract करती हैं, लोगों को खुश करती हैं. So winsome hearts because something is winsome, can be something that's very charming or beautiful or attractive, appealing, right? Alluring. All of these words then can be used as synonyms for winsome. So anything that's very beautiful, anything that's very attractive will win some hearts. So वैसे हम इस word को याद रखेंगे. Attractive, pleasing, appealing, charming, enchanting. You can use words like alluring. Okay, these are all the words that we can use for winsome. So she gave her mother a winsome smile. That means she gave her mother a very beautiful, attractive, appealing, nice, pleasant smile. That means winsome, what part of speech is this as is used as? Anna, this is our fourth word. So I want you to think about the part of speech as well. Think of the words attractive, pleasing, charming, enchanting, and also like we're describing smile. So what part of speech will winsome become? It is an adjective. We can say that child is a winsome child. You can say the picture is winsome, the dress is winsome. Anything that is attractive and appealing can be used and said that it's winsome because it's an adjective, right? So you can actually use it to describe people and things, of course. So that was the fourth word. Last word pe chalte hain for the day, which is vociferous. Okay, so vociferous is mnemonic aid mein, if you think about it, it says somebody who voices their opinions or voices anything forcefully या furiously, उसे हम vociferous कहेंगे. So voice and furious. Those are the two words that you can think of from this word, and accordingly आप इसका meaning याद रखेंगे. So think about somebody जो अपनी opinions को, अपनी बातों को बहुत ही ज़्यादा loudly, aggressively रखता हो सामने. That person can be called vociferous. Now before I move forward, let's move on to this video, which has a disclaimer also that it's only for entertainment purpose, and it's only for some sort of the purpose of it being funny, and there is absolute respect for all human beings anyway. But let's have a look at this video, and then we'll talk about vociferous again. Okay, here you go.
अब ये है कि रिया चक्रवर्ती के व्हाट्सएप कन्वर्सेशन मेरे पास है. अरे रिया चक्रवर्ती कहती है मुझे ट्रक दो मुझे ट्रक दो.
Okay, if you remember the whole facade that happened and all of it that was happening on media because of this case. And anyway, when you have like certain anchors these days, not just one person, but actually everybody's following the trend of voicing everything so aggressively and vehemently. So that is basically when how we can describe a person, say that person is vociferous. So loud, forceful, expressing opinions vehemently, being extremely vocal about it, expressing opinions aggressively, that is vociferous. Okay, so he was vociferous in his support for the proposal. That means he was very very adamant, he was vocal. उसने अपने points को बहुत ही clearly, loudly and काफ़ी ज़्यादा vehemently रखा था. So that's vociferous. Okay, part of speech wise, if you look at it, he was vociferous. That means we're describing how he is. Okay, other than that, OUS at the end, that basically will give you the idea that this is an adjective. So he was vociferous in his support. That means he's putting across his opinions very aggressively, very strongly, and that's what vociferous is. Okay, so that's where I will take your leave. Those are our 5 words that we wanted to do today. I hope you had fun and that you remember these words for a longer period of time. If you're not a subscriber yet, please make sure that you've subscribed to the channel. If you like the video, please do that, and I will see you next time with another episode of Boost Your Vocabulary. Until then, I hope you have a very good night, and that you also take care of yourselves. Please make sure that you're keep taking precautions, not having too much cold water, क्योंकि अभी ऐसा मौसम बहुत वैसा वाला चल रहा है, dicey. So make sure that you're just taking care of yourselves. Okay, have a very good night everyone. Take care. Bye bye.